In retrospect, we tend to aestheticize and attribute moral virtue to our actions. It is therefore problematic to be sure about one's real motivations. Anyway, the idea to work on Artaud's The Theatre and the Plague appeared along with the early developments of the COVID pandemic. At the time, in February 2020, I was under the impression that this opening essay of the theatre and its double, first published in 1933, raises awareness of a variety of significant psychological, economic, and political implications related to the ancient and medieval forms of the plague, as described by Artaud, and of their persisting relevance for our contemporary collective and personal confrontation with a disease that doesn't care about our established cognitive orders and social boundaries. Furthermore, as a performing arts person, I felt intrigued by the possibility of a reactualization of Artaud's central poetic proposition, namely the idea that theater should operate as a linguistic virus that dissolutes mental and social codes in order to rearrange the human relation with the natural and cosmic environment. Under the worldwide social distancing and lockdown conditions, it soon became clear that the work shouldn't simply be a reading of Artaud's essay, but a multilinguistic cinematic online project with an intercontinental team of artists. The guiding idea was to create a multi-perspectivistic project modulating the relation between Artaud's text in its entirety and the contemporary crisis perception of each artist in her or his geographical localization. In order to achieve consistent results in such a collaboration of voluntarily contributing artists, it seemed useful to work with a very limited filming time frame and to reconcile a maximum of individual creative freedom with a central organization in charge of production, text distribution, and the final editing process. Each artist agreed to work on a specific section of Artaud's text without any other conceptual indication than to perform and to film in an environment that would express the artist's perspective within the pandemic. The process resulted in 18 short films that, in a second step, were re-edited in order to be part of the movie Antonin Artaud's The Theatre and the Plague. Advantages and challenges of an online project like this are closely related. The extraordinary pandemic situation, the collective perception of a common threat, in combination with the separation from our ordinary lives, led to a revaluation of our activities and relationships and reinforced our existential and creative desires in spite of all adversities. Collaboration online doesn't satisfyingly replace performative co-presence, but it is, especially under the current circumstances, a valuable technology for communication and co-creation, including the openness to a higher degree of cultural diversity and aesthetic unpredictability, even in a project like ours without any financing. What we did in Antonin Artaud's The Theatre and the Plague was led by the dramaturgic logic of the exquisite corpse, a poetic and pictorial game the French surrealists enjoyed to play. You don't know what happened before, you don't know what will follow, but you still do not refuse to play. Fortunately, our exquisite corpse didn't end up as a monster.